the second step in creating the return to work program is to really educate, train your supervisors. It's your supervisors and leads that are actually out there interacting with the injured worker on a daily basis for the most part. And they should really be aware that your organization has an active return to work policy that includes offering temporary transitional work to injured workers. I know myself and a fellow coworker of mine recently heard from a policyholder on a return to work issue. The organization's claims coordinator, the person who reports to us, was on vacation. An employee was injured, went to the doctor for treatment, really placed on relatively minor work restrictions. The supervisor told the employee to go home and not come back until he was fully recovered and off of his restrictions. Well, clearly the supervisors in this organization, and maybe particularly this one, weren't trained on what they should do when an injury occurs. By having that employee stay off work until he recovered, that claim, as you can imagine, way more expensive because we had to pay wage loss benefits for 3 weeks. In this situation, the supervisor should have made his best effort to accommodate any medical restrictions to keep that employee working. It's also important to train your supervisors how to report an injury, what their role is, and how their decisions are going to impact your organization's bottom line. They're also an important resource in the return to work process. You're going to need to ensure that the supervisor knows what the employee's restrictions are and ensure that the supervisor doesn't have the employee work outside of them. I know it can be construed as babysitting at times, and it might be in some cases, but it is important for them to do that. During the recuperating process, you want the employee to remain productive and not to risk re-injury. That's why it's important to communicate with your supervisors to ensure that they know what the restrictions are and that, again, that the employee isn't working outside of them. And you should be getting regular updates from the supervisor, including whether or not that employee is working within his restrictions.
Yeah, good point, Michelle. And this is a good time just to take this quick question from Tom. If an employer pays transitional employee a lower wage during the return to work period, will work comp cover the difference in the wage disparity? And the answer to that, Tom, is yes. That benefit is called temporary partial disability benefits, and it's the difference between the pre-injury wage and the new wage that the employer is paying, and then two-thirds that. So yes, workers' compensation benefit, the work comp benefit does cover the difference.
Thanks, Beth. And for more on the supervisor responsibilities, you can see the Comp Talk from SFM's resource catalog, and you can also download that.